Some great conversation going there, so I didn't interrupt that. But good afternoon and welcome. We're great to have you here for the 2026 CU Anschutz Campus Research Awards ceremony. So I'd like to welcome all of our awardees in the front here, all of the in-person participants, and then those that are joining us on Zoom as well today. So we've got a lot of energy in the room, and that's fun to feel. So I would say that the history of this award ceremony is that we started in COVID. We started in 2020. We had gone through, I think, a difficult experience with COVID. There were a lot of different challenges, we could say, and we saw so many individual and team efforts that helped us get through that difficult time. We want to start this, to have the ceremony to recognize the great work that was done by so many people. That was so well received, it was suggested that we should make that an annual event to recognize the people in the research community that were key to that. And from the beginning, we've recognized faculty, staff, trainees, and mentors. We thought about the important people that help in all different aspects. So we're glad to continue this tradition, I think now in our 6th year. There are 9 different award categories we'll see this year, including a new category for research sustainability. So several people had suggested some new categories. We were delighted to add that category. I think it's very important. Would like to say this as well. We had over 250 nominations this year. So to the people that are being recognized and awarded, I would say it was highly competitive in the truest sense of the word. When you say you have 250 nominees, one of the things that you have to very importantly do is recognize the review committees. I want to thank the many people that were on the review committees. Now, one thing we haven't told the awardees is that many of you will be recruited to be part of the review committees next year. So we thank you in advance for that because it's actually really quite helpful. That's a trick we've learned over the years. I want to recognize our 3 review committee chairs. So Lori Sussel is the Associate Vice Chancellor for Basic Science Research. Also Jory Lazinski, who's our Assistant Vice Chancellor for Animal Resources, and also Michelle Porter, who played a key role in pulling all this together. So with that, I'll turn things over to Chancellor Elliman to make a few opening comments.
Yeah, right. A very few opening comments. We've got a long program with a lot of awardees. This is a great event. I remember the first one that I attended and thinking, what a terrific idea. We often talk about the major missions of the institution, and there are 3, clinical care, research, and education. We all know that. To me, research kind of, if you think of that as an arch, the keystone of the arch is actually research. It's the key element that differentiates us in both our clinical operations and in our education operations. So I look at it as really the soul of this campus. And I think that having an opportunity to reward and award the people who've shown the outstanding work that's being done around here is a wonderful and fitting occasion, and I'm thrilled to be a minor part of it. I congratulate Tom and his team for coming up with the idea 4 years ago, but I hope this is a long-lasting recognition ceremony for the great work that goes on here, that is in many ways the foundation of what we do. So I thank all of you for being here. I congratulate, I guess I'll get a chance again to congratulate all the award winners, but what a terrific occasion. And I'm thrilled to be able to kick it off and hand it back to Dr. Flagg.
Well, thanks for those comments. It's really inspiring to be here with all of you to begin. So just a few things at the top. I'd like to present, I'd like to thank our presenters for today. So Chancellor Elliman, myself, Dean Sampson, as well as Dr. Sussel and Lazinski as we go through today. So I would just say this, a couple of years, people have been very boisterous, and other years they've been a little bit. Feel free to express yourself. If you want to clap for people, and this is great. So we're somewhat formal here, but please feel free to express your congratulations to the awardees. What we're going to do for each of these is we'll announce the winner, potentially an opportunity to clap. We're going to describe the award, describe the awardee, and then have them come to the front. We've often had the awardees come up, and so we'll wait until we're done talking, then have you come up, and we'll present the awards right in this area so those that are on Zoom can see it as well. Then for all of our awardees, when we're done here, we'll meet in the back we'll do some formal pictures. So be some, some informal pictures here. We'll do those after we're all done. So that's our basic flow. So with that, we'll talk about the first category. This is Research Administration Award, which there's one recipient. So the Research Administration Award recognizes an administrative staff member who consistently goes above and beyond to advance research excellence and keeps operations running smoothly across campus. This year's award recipient is Alicia El Ali. So we just say that Alicia is from the Research Office Program and Post-Award Core Manager in the Department of Medicine. So she joined CU Anschutz in 2017 and has been in her current role since 2022. Her award nominators credit her with rescuing time-sensitive and NIH financial and closeout reports with remarkable precision and clarity. They described her willingness to help and train other administrators, particularly through the monthly informational sessions that she has established for grant administrators in her department. They also remarked on her leadership in developing the department's post-award grants management core, allowing faculty and staff to focus on the division's critical issues in other ways, knowing that the research administration responsibilities are in expert hands. So please join once again in congratulating Alicia El Ali, the recipient of the 2026 Research Administration Award.
Okay, so the next award is for the Research Collaboration Team Award, and this recognizes a team for effective research collaborations within and across disciplines, utilizing a team approach to scientific discovery. And I think this year it went to a really worthy team, the Colorado Nutrition and Obesity Research Center, or NORC. So the goal of the NORC is the prevention and treatment of obesity and its metabolic complications across the lifespan through better nutrition, lifestyle modifications, and medical treatments. Continuously funded by the NIH for over 30 years, the NORC embodies the power of collaboration, forging synergistic partnerships with many of the CU Anschutz centers and institutes, including mine, the DIRC, which they've been great. Leveraging these relationships allows the NORC team to provide their members access to the most recent equipment, techniques, and a wide range of scientific expertise. The NORC team has also been pivotal for career progression of many of our early stage investigators through pilot awards and expansion of professional networks. So accepting the award on behalf of the team are the NORC directors, Dr. Paul McLean, Daniel Bessison, and Darlene Sandoval. Please come up. And also, if the rest of the NORC team is here, it'd be great if you could stand up, because I think we should acknowledge as many of the team that actually came. Okay.
I get the pleasure of announcing the next award, which is the Research Staff Award. The Research Staff Award recognizes a staff member for outstanding research support to an individual lab or core facility within and across disciplines. The recipient of this year's award is Delaney Swindle, Research Services PRA in the Department of Medicine. Delaney joined CU Anschutz in 2015 and currently supports the Translational Research Laboratory for Red Blood Cell Diseases and Hypoxia-Related Illness, and manages the Animal and Hemodynamic Core in the CVP Research Group. Described as the backbone of the lab, she manages a dozen projects across several grants, handling animal protocols, IRB processes, supervising staff and interns, and coordinating with postdoctoral fellows. She has also co-authored 19 manuscripts and been instrumental in securing many grants for the lab. Please join me in congratulating Delaney Swindle, recipient of the 2026 Research Staff Award. All right.
Our next award is the Research Sustainability Award. And just before I present this, I'd like to make a few notes. I'd particularly call out the Green Lab program on campus, which started in March of 2025. So the goal of the Green Lab program is to work with partner labs to maximize sustainability and safety initiatives while minimizing impact on the vital research performed by each lab. On average, labs who participate in the program reduce their carbon emissions by 10 metric tons of carbon dioxide per year. So you can have a great impact there. Last week, I had the opportunity to join the Green Labs Luncheon, where 9 labs received their sustainability certification through the My Green Lab program. So it was great to be a part of that and see some early adoption. It's really great, and I'm pleased to see that campus research integrates sustainable practices into our research mission. I would encourage other labs to think about this program and learn more about it. So the Green Lab program is looking for between 30 and 50 more labs to participate. So again, I'd ask you to visit the CU Anschutz Sustainability website to learn more about that. Really a great program. Now, this new award is a new category this year. It came as a suggestion from all of you, and I think it's a great new category to inaugurate today. So the inaugural Research Sustainability Award honors an individual or a laboratory at CU Anschutz that has creatively and impactfully integrated sustainability into their research operations. This year's recipients of the award are Haley Wilkinson, Anatomy Pro-Section Manager and Instructor, and Ruby Martini, Anatomy Instructor and Pro-Sector in the MD Anatomy Lab. We'll give them a round of applause. And they are both in the Department of Cell and Developmental Biology. So their nominators remarked how Haley and Ruby have transformed daily operations in the anatomy lab through practical and high-impact initiatives. And they give several examples. There are programs for laundry and towels, lab coats and scrubs, and for reducing single-use consumables such as gloves, paper, and paper towels have significantly reduced the textile and other wastes and lowered the supply costs, so in both regards. They track and reuse anatomy exam materials, recycle office supplies, laminate and reuse their laboratory materials, and explored glove recycling pilots. All very good. Now, importantly, they also founded the Sustainability Committee of the International Federation of Associations of Anatomy. And in April, they will chair the first ever American Association for Anatomy Symposium on Environmental Sustainability. So with that, please join me in congratulating Haley Wilkinson and Ruby Martini, recipients of the 2026 Research Sustainability Award.
Okay, then the next award is the Rising Star Research Award, which recognizes a junior faculty member in their first 3 years who are emerging as a leader in research through significant discoveries and original scholarship. We have so many nominations for this award that we actually had to divide it up into different categories. So congratulations to all the nominees and the award winners. So the recipient of this year's Rising Star Research Award in Basic Science is Gina Bouchard, Assistant Professor in the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences. Dr. Bouchard joined CU Anschutz in 2025 and is an emerging leader in cancer research through innovative integration of biological models and computational frameworks to address one of the most pressing challenges in oncology, treatment failure driven by tumor microenvironment. Her research program is anchored in advanced spatial biology, quantitative imaging, where she has made pioneering contributions. Her recent Nature Communications publication introduced the Colocatome, a new quantitative spatial omics framework now being adopted across the spatial biology community, a notable achievement for a first-year faculty member. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Gina Bouchard, recipient of the 2026 Rising Star Research Award in Basic Sciences. Congratulations. And so we also have a Rising Star Research Award in Translational Science. And this awardee is Aina Helena Johnson. Anna Helena Johnson is an assistant professor in the Department of Medicine, I think the Division of Rheumatology. Since Dr. Johnson joined CU Anschutz in 2023, she's pushed the boundaries of translational research and established herself as an emerging leader in the field internationally. Her work centers on granzyme K CD8 cells using rheumatoid arthritis as a model system to explore their function and compare to other diseases where these cells comprise significant numbers of tissue-resident T cells. Dr. Johnson is an outstanding physician scientist, seamlessly integrating her clinical expertise in rheumatology, deep knowledge of human immunology, and research experience in translational medicine. I also want to point out she was a Boettcher Award recipient last year as well. So congratulations. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Johnson, recipient of the 2026 Rising Star Research Award in Translational Science. Okay, and the recipient of this year's Rising Star Research Award in Clinical Science is Paul Christine, an MD PhD assistant professor in the Department of Medicine. Dr. Christine joined CU Anschutz in 2023 and has demonstrated exceptional promise as a clinical investigator with a rapidly growing portfolio of impactful research, national leadership, and community engagement. His research focuses on substance use and harm reduction, and he has published more than 19 peer-reviewed articles from 2024 to 2025 alone, including first author papers in high-impact journals such as JAMA Health Forum, JAMA Network Open, and Addiction. He also was invited to speak about his research before local and national congressional committees, an extraordinary achievement for a young investigator. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Paul Christine, recipient of the 2026 Rising Star Research Award in Clinical Sciences.
All right, our next award is the Trainee Research Excellence Award. The Trainee Research Excellence Award recognizes basic science and clinical translational science scholars who show excellence in and great potential for future research impact during their training. The recipient of this year's Trainee Research Excellence Award in Basic Science is Carly Miller, MD PhD, a student in the Department of Pharmacology. During her PhD studies, Dr. Miller developed an elegant and novel project that blended her clinical interests in sexually dimorphic health outcomes with her basic research interests in mechanisms underlying synaptic transmission. Her project defined the synaptic and molecular mechanisms that govern sexually dimorphic psychiatric outcomes that occur following acute stress in humans. Her novel findings were published in Nature Communications and are a critical first step toward therapeutic avenues to better manage stress-induced psychiatric disorders in females. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Carly Miller, recipient of the 2026 Trainee Research Excellence Award in Basic Science. The recipient of this year's Trainee Research Excellence Award in Clinical Translational Science is Anna Pinto, postdoctoral fellow in the Department of Medicine. Since joining CU Anschutz in 2021, Dr. Pinto has emerged as one of the most promising early career investigators in translational metabolic research. Her research focuses on optimization of personalized physical activity and sedentary behavior interventions to improve glycemic control and prevent metabolic diseases. Her research integrates clinical investigation, behavioral science, and physiological assessment with the ultimate goal of tailoring exercise prescriptions based on individual biological and behavioral characteristics. This is an area of growing public health importance, and Dr. Pinto is at the forefront of this field. During her postdoctoral fellowship, she took the lead of a comprehensive review on the physiology of sedentary behavior, which was published in Physiological Reviews in 2023. This landmark article has already been cited more than 250 times, reflecting its major impact in the field. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Ana Pinto, recipient of the 2026 Research Excellence Award in Clinical Translational Science.
Okay, and now we're moving on to the Research Mentor Award. And I have to say, this was the category got the most nominations. Pretty amazing. And I actually want to thank all of the trainees and colleagues who actually nominated mentors. So this award recognizes a campus employee for dedicated and extraordinary efforts to mentor faculty, staff, and students in their research careers. The recipient of this year's Research Mentor Award is Christine Erlandson, professor in the Department of Medicine. Dr. Erlandson is a nationally and internationally recognized leader in HIV and aging research. In the past decade, she has mentored 25 graduate students, 13 residents and fellows in several different disciplines, and 30 faculty members, and has served on 4 thesis committees. These mentees represent different disciplines, including nursing, public health, doctoral students, participants in and outside of departments of medicine and different institutions, and even those based in other countries. She is passionate about developing the next generation of physician scientists and continues to pursue professional development to hone her skills as a mentor. Dr. Erlandson has incredible letters she had letters from colleagues, current mentees, and past mentees. And according to her current mentees, her integrity, professionalism, positive attitude, and exceptionally strong work ethic set a high standard that inspires us to elevate our performance and to strive for excellence in all that we do. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Christine Erlandson, recipient of the 2026 Research Mentor Award. And now I'd like to invite Dean Sampson to come and present the next award.
Thank you. It's a very proud moment for me to be here today and to see so many award winners. The Stephen Fadul Award was established to recognize technical staff who, through years of commitment, accumulate a very valuable and unique set of knowledge and even wisdom that form the foundation of our productive biomedical research. Berenice Cabrera Martinez embodies these ideals in every respect. Her professionalism, resilience, and collaborative spirit highlight the vital role that outstanding technical staff play in advancing the school's scientific mission. We are delighted today to recognize her contributions with this well-deserved award. Across laboratories and collaborative projects, Berenice is consistently described as the operational and intellectual backbone of the research teams she supports. She combines, and this impressed me, exceptional technical mastery in flow cytometry, complex human sample processing, and mouse colony management. I can barely turn on a flow cytometer, so that's impressive, with scientific independence and problem-solving ability. Her contributions have been central to multiple high-impact publications, including first author work in Cell Reports, and to the success of multiple NIH-funded and translational research programs. Equally important, she's a dedicated mentor and colleague, generously teaching and training students and other staff, fostering inclusive and collegial lab environments, and ensuring rigorous compliance and an organization that allows research programs to thrive. Please join me in congratulating Berenice Cabrera Martinez, recipient of this year's Stephen Fadul Award.
Okay, with that, we're going to move to our final category of the day. I think the overall audience enthusiasm has been fantastic. So thank you for participating as well. So the last category is the Chancellor's Distinguished Research Lectureship Award, of which there'll be 2 recipients. And this recognizes the Chancellor's Distinguished Research Lectureship Award recognizes extraordinary research accomplishments from any discipline, showcasing impact and innovation. The award recipients are invited to present a lecture about the research. So several years ago, we had done a couple of years of these award ceremonies, and we had a few people come forward and say, you know, we have all these times where we bring in an outside lecturer to campus, and they give us great lectures, but we rarely get a chance to celebrate the great accomplishments and impact of our faculty on the field. And so the idea of saying, let's recognize faculty here and then have them present to the group. So if we go to the next slide there. In our first year, we had Donna DeBelia from the Colorado School of Public Health who presented her work along with David Schwartz, both wonderful presentations. Then this year, we had Annette Santoro recently present, and coming up shortly, David Bentley will make his presentation. Now, I will say we hold these in the large Hensel Phelps auditorium, and we've actually overprescribed it. So we actually have to have people register at this point because more people want to go to these than we have seats. We have to think about the location next time. So with that background, I'll announce the two award winners. So this year's, the recipient of this year's Chancellor's Distinguished Research Lectureship Award in Basic Science is Heide Ford, who's a professor in CU Medicine Endowed Chair in the Department of Pharmacology. So let me tell you a little bit about Dr. Ford. She joined the CU Anschutz faculty in 2001, is an internationally recognized leader in cancer biology whose research has profoundly advanced the understanding of tumor progression and metastases and translating these discoveries towards innovative therapeutic targeting strategies. Dr. Ford's scientific contributions are transformative. She was the first to identify 6-1 as a critical driver of cancer progression, opening an entirely new field of investigation. Her pioneer work has shaped current paradigms in cancer biology and inspired novel therapeutic approaches. She is distinguished by her commitment to research considered to be high risk, high reward. So targeting transcription factors has long been viewed as the holy grail in oncology due to their central role in cancer and also the difficulty in drugging them. Undeterred by this challenge, Dr. Ford spearheaded efforts to develop small molecule inhibitors against the development of transcription factor 6-1, which is important in this process. She has leveraged structural biology, high throughput screening, medicinal chemistry, and tumor immunology, leading to multiple patents, NIH STTR funding, and the creation of a startup company to accelerate transition from bench to bedside. Her collaborations spanned academia, biotech, international partners, exemplifying her ability to build multidisciplinary teams to tackle the most challenging problems in cancer therapy. Her publication record is also very impressive, with more than 100 peer-reviewed articles combined with sustained NIH funding for more than 2 decades, which all attest to scientific rigor and impact of her work. So with that, please join me in congratulating Dr. Heide Ford, who's the recipient of the 2026 Chancellor's Distinguished Research Lectureship Award in the Basic Sciences. The recipient of this year's Chancellor's Distinguished Research Lectureship Award in Clinical Sciences is Wendy Court, who's a distinguished professor and Nancy Anschutz Chair in Women's Health Research in the Department of Medicine. So Dr. Court directs the Colorado Clinical Center for the NIH Molecular Transducers Physical Activity Consortium, commonly known as MOTORPAC, one of the most ambitious basic to clinical translation initiatives in the country, where she also serves as the chair of the Executive Steering Committee. Dr. Court has served as a standing member and chair of multiple NIH study sections. She's led national committees defining the U.S. physical activity guidelines, provided key scientific guidance to NASA, the Department of Health and Human Services, and the American College of Sports Medicine. On our campus, she has played central leadership roles in the Colorado Clinical Translational Science Institute, the Colorado Nutrition and Obesity Research Corps, the Center for Women's Health Research, and the Multidisciplinary Center for Aging. Her highly impactful research has spanned more than 40 years, focusing on the effects of sex hormones on bone health and cardiovascular outcomes. Her work has also highlighted the effects of exercise in older adults, and she is a great champion of the inclusion of older adults in clinical studies. Her findings have reshaped our understanding of how bone, as a metabolic tissue, responds to exercise, The impact of her work is evidenced by more than 360 peer-reviewed papers, an H-index of over 93. She has maintained continuous research funding from the NIH, other sponsors as principal investigator since 1991. During her more than 40-year career, she has received 63 federal grants, totaling more than $40 million in funding. And this year, she is a recipient of the 2026 American College of Sports Medicine Honor Award. Dr. Court is also the fourth woman to receive this honor since the ACSM was founded in the 1950s. With that, please join me in congratulating Dr. Wendy Court, recipient of the 2026 Chancellor's Distinguished Research Lectureship Award in Clinical Sciences. But what a great event to be able to recognize just some fantastic individuals in our research community, faculty, staff, mentors, and teams. So let's together give our awardees one final round of applause. Now, the review committees don't want me to say this, but I'd like you to all think about nominations for next year. So, you know, we look at this every year and say, what's the interest level going to be? And I think this is the most we've ever received. So 250, but there are a lot of people out there. So start thinking about it. Would also like to mention that Dr. David Bentley's Distinguished Research Lectureship is coming up on Tuesday, April 21st, 4 o'clock. Invitations should be sent out very shortly. We'd like to invite all of you to join us for refreshments in the lobby. And to the awards recipients, please join us in the back for some quick photos. So with that, thank you once again. I think the audience today was fantastic. We appreciate